Most of us are familiar with the amazing stunt work that can be seen in popular action movies on the big screen. We see men jump from buildings and slide down stairwells. Most of these stunts are performed by professionally trained stuntmen using safety equipment such as mats and nets. However, an increasing number of films are beginning to use a unique form of stunt work. This can be seen in movies such as Live Free or Die Hard and Casino Royale. In these chase scenes, the stuntmen seem to defy gravity as they climb up walls and take impossible leaps. This is not special effects, this is the art of parkour. To better understand what parkour is, we'll first discuss what the actual definition of parkour is, and then we'll discuss its history and its philosophy, finally ending in its presence in the mainstream. According to AmericanParkour.com, the definition of parkour is the art of moving through your environment using only your body and surroundings to propel yourself. Essentially, it's moving from point A to point B using the most efficient path possible. While most of us use the straight path, we also walk around our obstacles instead of going over them. People who use parkour use the body's natural momentum to propel themselves over, through, around, and under these obstacles using unconventional techniques. These unconventional techniques can include a combination of leaps, rolls, and vaults as they move in between and over these obstacles. When most of us would approach a wall as we're going from one destination to another, we would simply walk around it. But those that use parkour can either choose to climb up it, vault over it, or even leap from the top of it. Parkour can utilize any landscape as an obstacle course, from a playground to a sculpture park to even a downtown metropolis. One important thing about parkour is that it is defined by the intention to go from one place to another and not the movements that get you there. The name parkour is derived from the French word courir, which means to run, and somebody who practices parkour is called a traceur. Parkour is also known as the art of movement because as they bend and twist their bodies in order to move around their obstacles, it becomes more a form of art than a physical activity. Now that we know what parkour is, now we need to take a look at where it got its start. Parkour is a relatively young sport, starting just 20 years ago in Europe, which has run an even shorter history here in the United States. It was founded in 1988 by David Bell, who at the time was 15 years old and living in Marseille, France. His father was a firefighter and he was influenced greatly by Georges Hébert. Georges Hébert was a former naval officer who, while in Africa, studied the indigenous tribes as they moved their environment and body alone in order to get their work done. He studied their techniques, and using what he found, he invented the natural method of physical movement, using only body and surrounding environment to move from one place to another. Bell applied the natural method to his urban environments in France, and as him and his friends became proficient and added new skills, they began to film documentaries of each other, which soon leaked onto the internet and garnered attention from an international underground audience. It was through use of these viral videos and the internet attention that it gained that it spread to the United States. Transition. Parkour is thought to be little more than an extreme sport, but there is also a philosophy behind it. According to a BBC article, parkour resembles an Eastern philosophy, encouraging discipline, self-improvement, and interdependence. In this same article, Bell gives us some insight into what the thought behind parkour philosophy is. He says, we feel a need to move, we feel a need to exist. Parkour philosophy comes with a sense of community and interaction, and it's made up of many small groups or clans within the U.S. and the United States. Most of these groups prefer to keep underground or within their small communities, and communicate only through viral videos and word of mouth. Showboating or showing off goes against the principles of freedom and rebellion that parkour represents. The philosophy differs in some sense from one person to another. Some people want it to remain pure and underground, while others want to garner more attention for it, be more noticed in the mainstream media. In today's society, it's becoming increasingly popular in mainstream media. Within the last 10 years, more films with parkour have been seen in the United States. One of the first parkour films in the United States was Kiss of the Dragon, followed by Live Free or Die Hard and Casino Royale, which both use tracers in their chase scenes. District B13 is a popular movie that surfaced in France, and it was made entirely to showcase parkour abilities. There is also a sequel to this movie coming out in 2009, District B14. And on one final note, New Line Cinema is producing a movie in 2009 called Parkour, which will bring even more attention to the United States. In conclusion, parkour is becoming increasingly popular in the United States. There is even a St. Louis parkour team named Trickset that practices out of the St. Louis gym. And if nothing else, the next time that we all watch an action movie, we'll know more about where the discipline comes from.
Hi, I'm Pat.
I'm Shannon.
I'm Nate.